I'm sorry, you're ready. Good evening, everyone. At this time, I'll call to order the regularly scheduled committee meeting for the Village of Midlothian, Wednesday, March 5th, 2025, at 7 p.m. Roll call, please, Clerk Martin.
Trustee Brevet.
Here.
Trustee Caveney.
Here.
Trustee Crowley.
Here.
Trustee Hilly.
Here.
Trustee Johnson.
Here.
Trustee Killily.
Here.
Mayor LaRue.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'll open the floor to public comment. Is there any public comment tonight? Yes, sir.
Just a quick question. Until I buy something I'm renting, and I looked on your website about the pet licensure, in terms of the limit of 8 teachers in a household, and the owner already has 2. I have 2. So will there be an exception, or is it renting, or is it going to be a problem? Yes. License.
You're saying a short-term situation? You're going to buy something soon?
Yes,
Is it-
but I don't know when, and I have to look. So I wouldn't say it's short-term.
Oh.
Maybe a year.
All dogs?
No, 2 dogs. The owner has 2 dogs. I have 2 cats.
But you have separate living spaces?
Yes.
Oh, then you're not in the
I
same,
mean, it's the same house. I'm renting the basement.
yeah, you have separate, like a related living sort of thing? Is it an apartment down there?
No, it's, I'm renting the basement.
You have the whole basement?
Yes. It doesn't have it does have a separate entrance, so in theory, it could be a second residence if you really want to consider it that way. But I'm renting.
I don't see a problem with it unless it becomes a problem.
I don't want to have a problem when I go and apply
Yes.
for the pet.
Anyone else?
Cats.
All right, I will close the floor to public comment. Move on to trustee business. Trustee Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm looking for approval to purchase the Ryland pet tags, quote, for the 25-26 season at the amount of $318.
I'll second.
Trustee Johnson made a motion and trustee Crowley second. All, discussion? Roll call, please, Clerk Martin.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Brevet.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Hilly.
Aye.
Trustee Killily.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Burbank.
I have nothing this evening.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Hilly.
I just had 2 items for discussion. One of them is the outdoor warning system maintenance agreement renewal. It's a budgeted item, it's not to exceed $1,480. All the paperwork is attached to board docs. Did anybody have any questions, concerns? No?
Brandon? Brandon?
Brandon?
There were so many documents there. Yes, it looks like it's Braniff, yeah. Stand by for a second. I have 5 different things up. Yes, it was Braniff.
Do you know if they're working on it on Tuesday or?
That I don't know.
Because it
It
went out twice.
on Tuesday.
Yeah, I do
It
too.
did go off.
It went off twice, well, somebody else said it went off twice, but first of all, Tuesday was the first Tuesday of the month, so that's the test.
Right.
But, somebody else did call me about that and said they thought they heard it twice.
The first time it went off, it didn't sound right. It sounded
Okay.
different. Tell you anything about that?
Is that,
I don't think this one went off, but we think we have 2, don't we?
yeah,
I think there's one by the old Grills Hardware. somewhere
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
I think that one was working the first time. The second time, this one went off.
Okay.
does Calcom activate that? Did they do the test?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Is there- do
It's
they-
Calcom, right?
Do they know or do they ask if it
It's the
functions
first
properly?
Tuesday of the month, right?
Right,
Correct.
Yeah.
but do they ask you guys if it actually went off? Okay,
Yeah. Hotwire probably handles it.
go ahead.
I just have a question regarding Addendum A. Did anything on this Addendum A, which is the preventative maintenance service agreement, did anything on this addendum change from the prior contract?
That'd be a question for the fire chief.
Okay,
I don't have the prior contract.
okay. Maybe could the attorney talk to the fire chief and go over that and make sure there's no, silly things that got slipped in here that we don't know about, that are changes?
Okay. What's the title of that contract?
Title is, well, it's addendum A under the
Brand of
The
communications.
Braniff quote, there's like 4 documents, 1, 2, 3, there's 4 documents in it.
Outdoor
Outdoor
warning.
warning maintenance system
Got it.
agreement renewal is the title on board docs.
Cool, I got it.
So if there's, Mr. Valdez checks with the fire chief and there's no issues,
Yeah.
we can have that put on the consent agenda for next week. The second was the quotes, multiple quotes for the repair to the floor drains and the epoxy, the entire garage floor over at Station 2. There's 3 separate invoices here. It's a budget item and part of the capital improvement plan. Does anybody have any questions on any of these documents or what the work that's being done? I have photos, but I thought the fire chief sent them to everybody, but I think he just sent them to me. If anybody wants to see a photo of the grates and the concrete deterioration around them. I don't know how old they are. They seem to be maybe original.
Original.
Yeah, okay. And when was that station built? 60s?
Probably.
Yeah, okay. So, I talked at length with the fire chief over this. All this is necessary work, and it has been budgeted.
Perfect.
So if nobody has any questions or no discussion, if we can have it put on for consent agenda next week, that'd be great.
So all of these invoices are doing separate work?
No.
Oh.
If you
Which
read-
one?
if
Which
you-
one is the lowest? Max Creek?
It was Max Creek. The red line ones, and I think it was Raven, did not include certain work in their quote, and that's obviously the lowest bid is what we went with the most work being done.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
Cool.
Thanks. That's it. Yep.
Thank you. Trustee Cavey.
Thanks, Mayor. The only thing I wanted to talk about this evening is, I had sent an email to the mayor and Chief Delaney and Trustee Crowley about a safety issue that I see happening on Keeler Avenue at 147th Street. So, a lot of people who are attending different functions at St. Chris are tending to park on the street, even during the week, even though there's no parking during the week. But the biggest issue is that they're parking in front of that corner house, and they're parking too close to the intersection. And the issue is that there's cars parked on the west side of the street, facing south. Then there's also angled parking on the east side. And most of those cars who park in the angled parking, their bumpers hang out into traffic. So if cars are parked on both sides of the street, and then you have traffic turning onto Keeler going north, coming from either direction on 147th Street, you don't see all those cars parked there. If there's a car that's trying to come south down Keeler, and then you have a car turning north on Keeler with 2 vehicles parked on both sides of the street, the driving lane is not wide enough for 2 cars. I personally have had a couple of near misses myself in the last 2 months, and I've seen other cars have near misses there. So I'm asking if the board can consider putting a no parking here in the corner, just from the corner of the driveway of that home to, no parking from the corner of the driveway to the traffic light.
I have no problem with you. Good
So-
question. It'll be up
Chief,
to.
did you have anything problem with that?
Okay,
I'm fine with it too.
okay, very good, thank you.
That's it?
That's it?
Oh, wow.
But I reserve the right to raise my hand.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Kilby.
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing we want to talk about is contracting for audit services for fiscal year '25. We put out an RFP for a 3-year contract, and the Finance Director Redmond recommends Crow Accounting Services. They did work for us on bonds back in about 2016. The reason that she recommends Crow mainly is because they did a good job on 2016, great job, but also they're going to do a lot of their work on site. She feels that the audit would go quicker and better if they did their work on site. If there was any issues or questions, then they could interact with our department and get that taken care of quickly rather than having to go in the office, go back and forth another week. The other thing we should know about contracting with Crow would be that at present, our present auditor, Lauterbach and Amon, they're doing a nice job too. And they have worked with us on trying to get the bank reconciliations up to date, which is quite a task, and they're almost done. Crow doesn't do that. But the finance department feels confident that after this is taken care of and getting all the beginning balances done, especially in the general fund, that they can take the bank reconciliations from there and do monthly bank reconciliations, which will be more, they'll go quicker if we can do them monthly. And they'll be hopefully more accuracy of it will be taken care of much quicker than what the process we have right now. So I'd like to put that on for the consent agenda, unless if there's any discussion on that or questions.
And this would be for the 25?
It's a 3-year contract,
25,
Okay.
but we're
26,
putting,
27, no, fiscal year 25, 26, 27.
so yes,
Yeah.
so we'll approve it for a 3-year contract. And that's all.
Thank you. Sir, Trustee Crowley.
Just a couple things tonight. First off, I just want to make the board aware, Trustee Burbat and I had our annual meeting with Proven regarding, planning for this next fiscal year. One of the things that came up in our conversations is that our data components, which are the components that service our backup for the village, have reached their end of life, and one of them is also extremely full. Originally, we thought we would have a month or so to talk about this and move forward, but I received a phone call from today that the one data appliance has reached 97% fullness, and we'll probably need to move forward quickly, or things will stop backing up. So it is, it would be budgeted under our IT infrastructure. It is, the quote I saw, I had her changing a couple things, were under $2,000 for each one. So unless anybody has a problem with that, Trustee Burbat and I will probably ask the board to move forward on an emergency basis. We can't vote on it tonight. We will have all the quotes and everything for the next, but if anybody has a problem, if not, we'll be moving forward so that we don't lose any of our data.
What was the number? The dollar amount?
I think it was $2,000. It was just around $2,000 each. I'll forward. She's going to send me an email tonight. I haven't gotten it yet, with the actual dollar amounts after she does the corrections.
All right, just share that with the board and make sure that's the dollar amounts on the agenda.
I will, yes. Next, in regard to the same meeting, apparently Microsoft is going to be making some changes towards the end of the year, which will directly impact the village regarding our licensing and multi-authentication to log into our system. We are meeting with the department heads. We're going to have an IT meeting next week. We're going to go over it with all the department heads and come up with a plan. But in this, there's also been 12 computers identified that will no longer be able to be used in the village. Trustee Burbat has done some specs, and we have a pretty good desktop version for purchase that was a lot less than we could find anywhere else. So we'll be talking to the department heads and identifying those next week and working towards purchasing them by the end of the year. We're also looking into a parking issue over on 147th Street. I received a complaint from a business that they don't have enough, that there's a lot of all-day parking going on near his business, and he's not able to have his customers come in and leave, and it's costing him business. I have gone over there and talked to most of the business owners. I'm going to finish that up this weekend, and I will be bringing a recommendation to the board. But right now, it looks like making part of the spaces a 2-hour parking versus all-day parking might be, give them some relief. So I'll be bringing all that to the board in the next few weeks. That is all I have this evening, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Burbett, how often should desktops be replaced?
Well, it depends on what you buy in the first place, but basically 5 years is a good.
And how long do we keep them? 10?
The ones that are, the vast majority that are at the bottom of this list were 2007.
2007?
And we can, and the award can go to Chief Hotwagner, who has the oldest computer in the entire village in his office.
That's a year?
Well, this is the one that he has, that scheduling software that, you know, he's very particular about. So it's his second computer, and I think it's from the 90s.
He has software that won't run on a modern computer.
Yeah.
I'll just say that my laptop that I've been using most of the time since I've been in this seat on the board just informed me last week that no more updates, and there's stuff I can't do on it anymore.
All right, so that's something that we should kind of start planning scheduling on?
We're already
Okay.
working on
Of course you are.
it. We've already got equipment selected.
Cool. All right, anything else?
That's all I have,
All
sir.
right, thank you. Attorney Valdez.
Nothing today.
I have nothing to report. Clerk Moscow?
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, sir. Then at this time, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn the closed session to discuss the collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We're in closed session. There's no further action following closed session.